everyone, I'm Michelle Ray Smith, and thanks for joining me for another episode of Press Paws, the show for the animal lover in all of us. I think we can learn a lot more from animals than they can learn from us. That's why I named one of my dogs Forrest Gump, because life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. On today's episode, we'll meet a pair of pups that fetch really big sticks and a couple who rack up the miles matching pets with people. But today's first stop is the Lone Star State. Dr. Doolittle is a fictional veterinarian who could talk to the animals. If he worked at Dr. Amy Jo Pilmer's office in San Angelo, Texas, he'd have to speak every animal language in the book, even skunk.
Good. Good. So come on in and we'll take a look at Jake. So, hey Bubba's. How are you doing today? At 8 o'clock we open those doors. There's people lined up with dogs and cats, horses, cows. So he's got some itchy problems?
He does.
Okay. Typical day doesn't mean you're going to see appointments every 15 minutes because there's emergencies. There's run over dogs. There's cows that are trying to have babies. Come on. Come on. Okay, so we're gonna give him some fluids, and the easiest way to do it is orally. All right. All we do is try to be there for everybody that needs us. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm putting this down in his stomach. But right now I'm making sure it's not in his lungs. So I can hear his stomach gurgling. I can also smell it. And it's a multitasking, crazy type of day. He is done. All right, Bubba's. You should be better. Sometimes it's an 8-hour day, sometimes it's a 12-hour day. Okay. You just start and you don't stop till you finish and everybody's taken care of.
Oh.
I know, I mean, I'm like...
Look at him on to the panty.
They're sweet. My name is Amy Jo Pilmer, and as a profession, I'm a veterinarian in Fredericksburg, Texas. And as a hobby, I'm an active outdoorsman and I do wildlife rescue, and I love to fish and ride horses and raise cattle. So these are pictures of past animals we've rescued. I probably had the lifetime that every kid would dream of because my parents were so good with us and loved us unconditionally. We were very outdoorsy. We grew up hunting and fishing. I absolutely love sports. I was almost too competitive. I played every sport. I would play volleyball, basketball, I ran a little track, played soccer, but basketball was my main focus. So this is a little baby skunk, and we rescued her. My infatuation with animals started at a young age. I do remember even when we would go hunting as a family, if I found an injured animal or an abandoned animal, I would bring them home. So this is a hydraulic squeeze chute. This is what we use for large animals. And we had a little accident with one. It opened too soon and I actually chopped my finger off. Just barely the tip of it. But accidents can happen. You've got to be careful around cattle. Obviously, I had an incident. I was probably 8 years old or so when I started going up to my uncle's vet clinic. This is probably 10 days old, so you can't see the bruises very much. When I started working for him, I knew that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. My dad and I were giant fishermen, and he was going to take me on this ultimate fly fishing trip up in Colorado. We had planned it out. So we left one morning, bright and early in the morning, just my dad and I. And I was 17 years old at the time. It was probably a couple weeks before my senior year of high school started. We headed out and we only made it about 4 hours from home. And we were in a head-on collision. My dad was killed in the accident and I was severely injured physically, but mentally probably more than anything because it's just my life seemed just confusing. I didn't know how to go on. God, it's been so long too. So my senior year of high school was not anything to brag about. It was very hard for me to make grades, and then actually went to college in my hometown and did okay, didn't do as good as I thought I would, and that discouraged me. So vet school just kept getting further and further and further away. Okay, so this is the oral antibiotic. After 5 years, I woke up one morning. All right. I applied, went to vet school. It was a tough 4 years, but I could not see myself doing anything else. It was a calling, it was a passion, and I'm glad I got up and did it. So I started practice here, and about 4 years into it, I made the purchase of the clinic, and then I also brought in a veterinary partner who is a part owner, and we run it 365 days a year, all night, all day, all weekend.
This is Kilo. He got hit by a car a few weeks back. Working with a doctor like Amy Jo is definitely something that is unexpected 100%. Every day is genuinely a new day. I learn something new every single day.
So we're gonna treat this guy.
She is very unique and has a great personality and just has such a big heart for animals. It's really pretty incredible.
I kind of got out of fishing a little bit after my dad passed away. I didn't go on very many fishing trips. But my dad was a very huge influence in my life, and I started getting back into it. You know, taking advantage of a cold beer and just being outside. Oh, you're doing good, Bubba. He's very lucky to be alive. This is a little gray fox. And then this crazy thing is the Mr. Raccoon. Hey, trying to bite him. These guys are hilarious.
Dr. Amy Jo is amazing. If there really was a Dr. Doolittle, she would be it. The Trenton Thunder are a minor league baseball team for the New York Yankees. Every night, fans come out to cheer for the team's biggest stars. They don't hit or pitch, they play fetch.
Today is a very special day. We allow dogs to come in and enjoy the game.
Please, for the start of the ball game.
When you're away from home in the minor leagues and you miss your dog, having Derby here just made them feel at home. Some fans who are here for the first time and they see it, they're like in awe. They're like, whoa, what is that?
He goes and picks up the bats every night, which is kind of crazy. You don't ever see anything like that.
Get the bat.
You know, they just love to be at the ballpark. They love to be around people. They love their job of getting bats.
There's definitely a spirited competition between me and the dogs.
Get the bat.
Does a great job. In fact, some people might say he does a better job than I do.
We're on our third generation of bat dogs.
They know their job like it's the back of their paws, I guess you could say.
You know, first inning, you see a dog run out there and grab the bat, and you're kind of like, what's going on? And it gives a little bit of fun to the game every night.
You can tell once they hear the crack of the bat and the player drops the bat, they're kind of itching to go.
Get the bat. It's just incredible. I mean, you look around and they're cheering and they're laughing and everybody's smiling. And you can see when Derby comes back with the bat, it's almost like he's smiling as well. One of the greatest player reactions last year was Alex Rodriguez. Front page of the paper. I mean, he saw Derby go get the bat and right in front of him, and he had a big smile on his face.
I'd love to see the reaction of the crowd because, you know, we get to see it every day, but these guys come out to the field, they don't see it every day, and you see something like that happen, it's pretty comical.
Good boy. The toughest thing, I think, is the pine tar. They hate the taste of pine tar.
I hate the pine tar. He goes out there every time, you'll see him sniff that bat, and if he gets a whiff of that pine tar up a little bit too high, he just turns around and walks off. He doesn't want any part of it.
Both Rookie and Derby are taught to balance the bat, actually, and to grip the bat in a certain location so that the bat is well balanced.
Just brings joy to people, you know, if you're having a bad day, like, make things better.
Every year when we take a team picture in the beginning of the year, all the dogs are in it. So I'd say, yeah, they're part of the team.
Just like their teammates, Derby and Rookie are waiting for their call up to the major leagues. Do you know who their favorite player of all time is? Babe Ruth. Animals are used to provide comfort to people who are sick or who have suffered a traumatic event. Dogs are the most common because they're a man's best friend and they can pretty much go anywhere. I mean, you can't get a horse into a hospital, right? Or can you?
Gentle Carousel Miniature Therapy Horses works with about 45,000 children and adults across the country. And we're here working with the New York City Gentle Carousel in partnership with the Ken Tejan Foundation. We've been doing this for about 20 years, working with children and adults, and we started doing this with at-risk children who were having behavioral issues, and we just saw the benefit of working with equine. We started getting more and more requests for people that were bedbound to have the horses come by and pay them a visit. So we've been training horses to come inside hospitals, to work with hospice care, and also working with fire departments and the police department, working with families who've lost members in the line of duty. Well, just the other day, we were requested by Mount Sinai Beth Israel to come to the hospital. There was a woman who made a last request to see a horse. She had been equestrian most of her life, and she asked that a horse come into her room and spend some time with her. So we were able to pull together our team and go into New York City and visit with her up on the 7th floor in her room.
I've been involved in the organization after following their work for many years. We're bringing the horses to visit the families and officers of a police station in Hazlet, New Jersey. This is a really important organization to be involved in because we work with the families of first responders who have lost their lives in the line of duty, and especially their children.
The miniature horses are an offshoot of the Tejan Foundation, and they aid children that are, have emotional issues or developmental issues. It's been a great program. Several of our officers have worked with it, and we intend to continue working with it.
You know, so kids that don't really have maybe the best situation at home, they were getting this awesome experience. You know, thankful to Lori and the Gentle Carousel program.
It's really life-altering for me because I see the effect it has on people. I see that the horse, it enjoys doing this kind of work. It likes working with children, likes working with adults. So it's really special to be there in that situation.
I'm seeing a lot more comfort animals joining people on airplanes. So if one of those horses ever wind up in my row, I don't care, it's sitting in the middle seat. Tracy's Dogs is a nonprofit organization that travels across the country, rescuing canines from shelters and ensuring they go to loving, permanent homes. Tracy Whyatt and her husband Scott's selfless commitment to their mission inspired the song "You Rescued Me" by country music star Chris Jones.
Here I am, staring into darkness, praying for love to shine its light on me. All my hope is slowly dying. That someone will see the treasure in me. When I cry, is anybody listening? Where I hurt, is there any comfort for me? Then along
Tracy and Scott have logged more than 250,000 miles and have rescued over 5,000 dogs. If that's not worth singing about, I don't know what is. For more stories about amazing animals and their friends, remember to just press pause. I'm Michelle Ray Smith. See you next time.